What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Friday morning edition of the Daily Juice Podcast with me, Matt Perrault at Sports Talk. Matt is my Twitter handle, at BettingPros on Twitter, at BettingPros for their Twitter handle. Always being brought to you by BetMGM here with our $10 offer that's always above me on the video on YouTube. If you ever forget it, you don't know what it is, go to YouTube, $10 bet to win $150 with the promo code of Juice150. Okay, so a losing night. 2-3, unfortunately. We started off 2-0. Creighton and Kansas got that right. Unfortunately, it did not continue as we kind of bled out slowly as the day went on. Iowa State being the game we needed, and they got killed. That would have made it a 3-2 day versus a 2-3 day, but Iowa State got annihilated there. So here's where I'm at going into Friday. I've got the parlay. You may not like it, but I got the parlay. Then we've got a little bit of a problem. The books aren't hanging numbers for a lot of these games that we played today. So because of that reason, I'm going to give you 3 bets, okay? 2 in college basketball and 1 in the NHL. And most likely I'm going to have more, okay? Most likely on the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat to get in, or the link is underneath me here on YouTube. Probably going to have more on a Friday than just these 3 plays. But for now, these are the plays, okay? So just know that there's probably more coming here, 2 and 3, but I will couch this by telling you, be careful. I haven't had a losing streak in a while. I am really due, not to fall on my face, but kinda. I mean, I haven't had one of those, like, we went 0-3 the other day and lost 3 units. And then we kind of came right back and essentially I was winning pretty much. I made all the money back in 24 hours for 48 hours, I guess. So I'm a little bit wary of today going into the weekend. Like, the numbers are so sharp. The books are so on it right now. It's tough. Okay. It's not easy to do, not easy to bet right now, not easy to win right now because the books know what you're doing. They are very much in tune. These numbers are coming down, 1-2 points, 1-2 possessions on either side. So if you're losing right now, don't feel like you're alone here. This is tough, okay? This is a tough time to be hot, tough time to make some money. So 2 games in college basketball, 1 game in the NHL, but let's start with the parlay. All right, so here's where I'm going. 3 legs, 600, the parlay. Boise State against Wyoming, okay? UNLV had a tough run of it. We had UNLV plus 1.5. I still don't buy Wyoming, okay? I thought it was going to be either Boise State or UNLV to win this conference tournament. And so now I think it's going to be Boise State. So Boise State money line, okay? First leg. Boise State money line. Second bet. I'll tell you more about TCU and Kansas, but both games against these 2 teams went under, and I think TCU is going to take the air out of the ball today. I think they're going to completely try to play a game in the 60s here, try to make Kansas win a game 65-60, something along those lines. Under 139 for TCU in Kansas. And then I'm going to take Michigan State on the money line. They're catching 2 points against Wisconsin in the Big Ten tournament. Just going to take Tom Izzo. Just a gut feel. It's Michigan State. It's March. I'm taking Izzo. I've not loved Wisconsin this season over the last couple of weeks. Liked them early in the year, but not lately. I'm going Michigan State money line here in the Big Ten tournament. Plus 600, 3-leg parlay. We're going Boise State money line, TCU Kansas under 139, and Michigan State money line here for a plus 600 parlay for our Don't Bet a Parlay parlay. Okay, that's play number 1. Play number 2, let's talk about where we are with TCU in Kansas. Numbers 8. Kansas on the year, 15-17 ATS overall. In the conference, 9-10. TCU is 12-6-1 against the Big 12 ATS. 4-1 over the last 5, 6-3-1 over their last 10. And on the road, TCU this year is 10-4-1. TCU has defeated Kansas this season, okay? They beat them by 10 at home, catching 6 points. Now, that was a stunner. In the next game, 2 days later, at Fog Allen, Kansas won the game by 4 points. Okay, but both games so far, TCU has covered. I think the public's going to bet this. I think you guys might get a better number than me. It's 8 right now. It may be 8.5. It may be 9 by the time we get there. KU is a public team. A lot of public money coming in. They just killed West Virginia. Let this thing climb. And I think you go ahead and you take TCU plus 8. I think TCU hangs around. This is a 7 o'clock Eastern time tip at night. I'm going to take the dog. I took Iowa State in an offense that couldn't score, and it burned me. This is TCU, again, in an offense that really can't score. So it's a little bit of like a row type of bet here with 8. I took 8 with Iowa State. It burned me. The number, according to KenPom, okay, KenPom has this as an 8-point line. 75-62, the win for Kansas. 8 points. That number is right there, 75-67. I guess that goes to 142, so they like the over here a little bit. But I love how KenPom calls this a semi-home court because it's in Kansas City, and there's a lot of KU fans that are going to be there. I'm going to take TCU to hang it close. I'm going to take the 8 points. TCU plus 8 today in a low-scoring game up against Kansas in the Big 12 tournament. Second bet. I may come back with more bets in the SEC. How about Alabama getting bounced by Vanderbilt, the most awkward, weird, craziest team in all of college basketball? Loses to Vandy. And Scottie Pippen Jr. has a big game with Scottie Pippen courtside. Woo, that was cool. So we've got a LSU team against Arkansas. Arkansas laying 1.5 points. Arkansas 19-12 ATS. LSU 19-13 ATS. But the difference here is that Arkansas 12-6 in the conference against the spread. LSU 9-10. LSU 7-8 away from home ATS. Arkansas 9-4 ATS. At home is where LSU did their damage. 12-5. They're on the road here, or at least on a neutral site here for this game. Now, Arkansas was laying 6.5 in the first matchup. They won by 7. Arkansas was laying 5.5, and they won by 1. So Arkansas is 2-0 straight up on LSU, but they are 1-1 ATS. This number is 1.5. Now, I would prefer to bet the money line, but here's the problem. I can't bet the money line right now in Vegas. Money lines aren't up yet overnight here in Vegas, but I'll lay the 1.5 and hope that it's a 2-point win. 1.5 scares the hell out of me because obviously a 1-point win for Arkansas and we lose. You might want to bet money line. I think this number is going to close at 2.5 or 3. I think the number is going to climb. I think the public's going to be on Arkansas as well, so I want to get in as early as possible. Hopefully we're not going to deal with like a 4-point lead and a late 3 from LSU that burns us and we lose this game, but I think Arkansas wins this game. I'm going to take Arkansas, the better team ATS, and really on a neutral site. I've bet Arkansas to win the SEC tournament. So, I mean, obviously I'm a little biased here on this. So we're coming in here with LSU and Arkansas. So Arkansas minus 1.5 for a half a unit and TCU plus 8 for a half a unit are our 2 bets here in college basketball. Now, I think Creighton and Providence is an in-game betting opportunity. I don't think there's much value in betting on this thing pregame. It's 3 right now. I think that number's right, okay? I think it's a one-possession game, one way or the other. So I would rather wait and see if Providence gets out to a big lead early, bet the Jays, or if Creighton gets out to a lead, bet Providence. It's going to be an in-game betting opportunity for me, okay? If you want to bet it pregame, my lean would be to lay the 3 with Providence, okay? That's my lean. But this Providence team has been catching a lot of breaks. Everyone calling them lucky. The Jays are my team, so it's tough. I mean, Hawkins played really well. The problem is that Kalbrenner's size advantage really gets neutralized by the bigs for Providence. And then the guard play for Providence is much better than the guard play for the Creighton Blue Jays. So if I had to bet it right now, I would bet -3 Providence. but I'm not there yet. If the number drops down, it was 3.5, and then it dropped down. If we get a -2 for Providence, I'm on the Friars. Okay, if it hits 2, official play will be Providence -2. Okay, that would be my official play. But I don't know if it's going to get there. In the game, if we get 2, 1.5, 1, pick them in game, I'll be on Providence. I do think Providence wins this game against the Blue Jays. Obviously, I'm pulling for Creighton, so it would be great if Providence got out to like a 6-7 point lead early, line balloons to 9 or 10 or whatever, and I can come back and bet the Jays +10. Jays cover, Providence wins. Best of both worlds, right? I've got Providence to win this conference tournament. I bet them at 5-1, so I got a personal play on them to win the Big East tournament. So let's see what happens here, but this is going to be a big game. Creighton's going to be up for it. Ty Alexander is a good player, guys. I mean, I know people are saying Ryan Nembhard, freshman of the year, but Ty Alexander is a decent player, and Coach McDermott's done a phenomenal job. I've been watching him coach college basketball now since 2000 and 5, 6, somewhere in that range. So I've known him for a long time, watched him for a long time. This might be his best coaching job ever. He's been incredible, and he had some great teams at Northern Iowa. Did a couple really good years at Iowa State before things went south. This year's been incredible. I mean, just an absolute incredible coaching job by Coach McDermott. Okay, one NHL total to talk about. Wild and the Blue Jackets. Wild 17-13-2 on the road straight up. Blue Jackets are 15-12-3 straight up. You know where I'm going. We're going over. Blue Jackets 37-15-4 to the over. The Wild 34-19-1 to the over. Both these teams do not play much defense, but they can score as well. The last 5 games for the Blue Jackets, 9, 9, 7, 7, and 5 for goals. For the Wild, 7, 9, 9, 9, 6. The total is 6. I have no idea why. It's -105. We are betting over 6 goals here for the Wild and the Columbus Blue Jackets. I mean, last night was ridiculous. I mean, Boston, Chicago goes over. Arizona, Toronto goes over. Ottawa, Seattle goes over. Minnesota, Detroit goes over. Florida, Philadelphia goes over. I mean, Islanders, Columbus goes over. Rangers, Blues goes over. The under games, Calgary somehow stayed under. I almost bet that over. Anaheim and Nashville 4-1. Carolina, Colorado stays under, which is shocking, 2-0. And then we had the under in the Devils and Winnipeg went under, as well as the Golden Knights and the Buffalo Sabres went under. 3-2 Kings here after 2. So that game probably is going to go over. So there were 12 games. Overs, I think, are going to go 8-4 last night. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Over, Wild, Columbus Blue Jackets, over 6 at -105 for a half a unit. Okay, so those are the plays for the pod. I'll probably have more going here today. So just once again, the Don't Bet a parlay, which has not hit in a month. We're now 1 in 5 or 1 in 4. I got to check that. I think we're 1 in 5. I think that's right. 1 in 5. So we're still technically profitable, but it would be nice to hit one of these soon. Boise State money line under 139, TCU, Kansas, and Michigan State money line +600. Don't bet a parlay for Friday. We're taking Arkansas -1.5 for a half a unit. TCU +8 against Kansas for a half a unit, and the over for Columbus and Minnesota at 6 -105. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me on Twitter @SportsTalkMatt each and every morning. It's the Daily Juice Podcast. Always being brought to you by BetMGM.